You don't need another patch, you don't need another pill. What you need might already be growing in your backyard. It sounds too simple, doesn't it? But for seniors who've tried to quit smoking again and again, only to feel anxious, miserable, or defeated, this one herb is changing everything. Not a medication, not a nicotine replacement, just a natural leaf that can instantly erase the craving for a cigarette. And here's the best part. It's completely safe, sugar-free, diabetic-friendly, and can even help with weight gain after quitting. You don't have to battle your addiction with willpower alone. This plant goes straight to the craving centers in your brain and gently turns the volume down. No stress, no shakes, just peace. In this video, we'll show you exactly how it works, how to use it, and how to grow it in a simple pot, even if you've never gardened before. For anyone over 60 who's ever whispered, "I wish I could quit," this might just be the answer you've been waiting for. Let's get started. We all know smoking is dangerous, but let's take a moment to really understand how dangerous. Every time you light up a cigarette, you inhale over 4,000 toxic chemicals, not just smoke. Some of these, like arsenic, formaldehyde, and lead, are literally used in rat poison and embalming fluid. And it gets worse. One of the most destructive chemicals in cigarette smoke is nitrogen dioxide ozone. It doesn't just hurt your lungs. It actually damages your DNA, quietly eroding your body's ability to heal, rebuild, and protect itself. For older adults, that's critical. Healing takes longer with age, and when your DNA is weakened, every cut, every cold, every health scare becomes harder to bounce back from. And here's something few people talk about: smoking also depletes your vitamin C, a key nutrient. Your body needs to fight infection, maintain healthy skin, and support your immune system. For seniors, that loss can show up in more frequent colds, slower wound healing, and chronic fatigue. So why do millions still smoke? Because nicotine is powerful. It tricks the brain into believing you need it just to function. But what if you could break that illusion? What if the craving itself could be silenced? This might surprise you. The herb we're talking about isn't exotic. It's not hard to find. In fact, many people already use it without knowing its full power. Its name is Stevia. You may know Stevia as a natural sweetener, especially helpful for people with diabetes or anyone avoiding sugar. But here's what most people don't know. Recent studies from Germany have shown that Stevia can help stop nicotine cravings almost instantly. How? By acting directly on your brain's craving response. See, when you feel the urge to smoke, your brain is sending out powerful signals that say, "Give me nicotine, now." But Stevia interrupts those signals. Just a couple of drops of liquid stevia on your tongue can disrupt the craving loop, and often the desire disappears within moments. You don't need to wait. You don't need to suffer. And you don't need to light up just to calm your nerves. Stevia offers a new natural way to find that calm without the smoke. And it gets better. Unlike nicotine gum or patches, Stevia has no side effects, no chemicals, no risk of becoming addicted to it. It's gentle on your system and safe for long-term use, even if you have other health conditions. Some seniors report that their craving for cigarettes dropped by half within the first week of using Stevia. Others say they were able to quit cold turkey with no withdrawal symptoms at all. It's not magic. It's just the right support at the right time. To understand why Stevia is so effective, we need to take a closer look at what happens in the brain and body when we smoke, and what changes when we use Stevia. Nicotine works by triggering the release of dopamine, a feel-good chemical that creates a short burst of pleasure and calm. But over time, the brain becomes dependent. It stops producing dopamine naturally and waits for nicotine to provide the hit. That's why without a cigarette, many smokers feel anxious, irritable, or even depressed. Here's where Stevia comes in. Studies suggest that Stevia doesn't just block the craving, it may also help the brain relearn how to self-regulate. When you place a few drops of Stevia on your tongue during a craving, it sends a signal that soothes the nervous system. The brain interprets it as satisfaction, but without the destructive chemical dependency. In other words, Stevia gives you the calming effect without the poison. But Stevia also benefits the rest of your body. Unlike sugar or artificial sweeteners, Stevia has 0 calories, 0 carbs, and 0 impact on blood sugar. That's especially important for older adults managing diabetes, high blood pressure, or weight gain. It also supports healthy digestion, balances blood glucose, and may even reduce inflammation, making it a smart choice beyond quitting smoking. And because it's plant-based and free of allergens, stevia is safe for long-term use. You can add it to your morning tea, afternoon yogurt, or just keep a dropper handy for when cravings hit. It's simple, it's natural, and for many seniors, it's life-changing. One of the most common concerns among older adults who want to quit smoking is this: if I stop, will I gain weight? It's a fair question because for many, smoking acts like a false appetite suppressant. Once they quit, the body starts to crave more sugar and food to fill the dopamine gap left by nicotine. And for seniors, that extra weight can add pressure on joints, worsen diabetes, and increase heart risk. But here's where stevia becomes your secret ally. Because it's naturally sweet, stevia can help satisfy sugar cravings without adding calories, carbs, or increasing your blood sugar. That means you can enjoy a cup of tea or coffee sweetened with stevia, feel emotionally satisfied, and avoid reaching for cookies or sugary snacks. Even better, stevia may help regulate insulin response, reducing the roller coaster effect of blood sugar spikes and crashes that often lead to overeating. Many people also find that using stevia regularly reduces their desire for junk food altogether. It retrains your taste buds toward natural sweetness and away from processed sugar. So instead of gaining 10 or 15 pounds after quitting, many seniors report maintaining or even losing weight thanks to stevia's unique properties. It's a gentle, supportive way to quit smoking without replacing one habit with another. And the next step: growing your own plant right at home. Imagine stepping outside in the morning, picking a fresh leaf, and knowing it's helping you quit smoking. That's the beauty of growing stevia at home. It's simple, rewarding, and surprisingly easy, even if you don't have a green thumb. Stevia is a perennial plant, which means if cared for properly, it can live year after year. It thrives in warm, sunny environments, just like many of us enjoy in retirement. If you live in USDA zones 9 or warmer, stevia can survive outdoors year-round. In cooler areas, just bring the pot indoors during colder months. Start by choosing a 12-inch container with good drainage holes. Fill it with loose, loamy, well-drained soil. Stevia absolutely hates soggy roots. If the soil holds too much moisture, the plant's roots can rot quickly. Give it full sun at least 6 to 8 hours a day. A sunny windowsill or balcony works great. When planting, give each stevia plant about 18 inches of space to grow. Wait until after the last frost before planting outdoors. You can boost growth by mixing in compost or an organic vegetable fertilizer like Bonnie herb and vegetable plant food. Add a thin layer of mulch to keep the roots cool and moist during the hot months. Water when the top of the soil feels dry, but never let the pot sit in water. Stevia likes moisture but not puddles. Most seniors find that taking care of a living plant, especially one that supports their health, brings an added sense of purpose. And watching it grow each week becomes a gentle daily reminder I'm healing. The next step: harvesting those powerful little leaves. When your stevia plant begins to mature, usually by late summer or early fall, you'll start noticing small white blossoms on the tips. That's your cue. It's harvest time. But here's a helpful trick: snip off the flowers as soon as they appear. Why? Because once stevia blooms, its energy shifts away from the leaves and they become less sweet. By trimming the blossoms, you encourage the plant to keep producing those flavorful, sugar-killing leaves. To harvest, simply cut the stems, remove the leaves and tender parts, and lay them out to dry. The best method: spread the leaves on a piece of loosely woven fabric or mesh and place them in the sun for a day. They'll dry out quickly. Just be sure to bring them in before evening dew makes them damp. If you prefer a food dehydrator, also works beautifully. Once the leaves are crisp, crush them by hand or pulse them gently in a food processor. You now have your own natural sweetener ready to use anytime you feel a craving. Store your crushed stevia in an airtight glass jar away from heat and moisture. It won't dissolve like sugar, but it will sweeten tea, coffee, oatmeal, and even smoothies. Every time you use it, you're not just avoiding cigarettes. You're replacing them with something pure, nurturing, and made with your own 2 hands. If you've ever whispered to yourself, "I wish I could quit," now you know there's a gentle, natural path forward. Stevia won't scold you, it won't shame you. It simply gives you a way to take back control, one drop, one leaf, one breath at a time. Your journey matters. Have you ever tried to quit smoking? What helped you or what didn't? Share your story in the comments. You never know who you might inspire today.